This week on Third Degree, we investigate widespread fraud in the micro-lending industry, forged garnishee orders all too common. And the National Credit Regulator investigates micro-lenders, big and small. This is Third Degree, and this week we tackle micro-lending, unsecured loans given at exorbitant interest fees. South Africans are drowning in debt, and despite moves to tighten legislation around reckless lending, the problem persists. And it is those who can least afford it who end up paying debt back at massive interest rates. It's the last day of the month. Mouths to feed, rent to be paid, school fees, monthly debit orders. You do your calculations. There is simply no way to make ends meet. So you decide to borrow more money, even though you already owe a whole lot. It's an all too familiar scenario for many South Africans. As costs rise, cash-strapped consumers get deeper into debt just to keep their heads above water. And most choose the easiest route, unsecured loans, known as microlending. Our investigation begins at Mantelli's biscuit factory in Cape Town. To chat to the staff, we had to don hygienically approved clothing. Alicia is a worker here. She borrowed money to pay for her sister's tertiary education. A noble deed, but one she couldn't really afford. The debt spiraled out of control, so she took out a second loan. She soon defaulted, and the original loan of 10,000 rand quickly escalated into a whopping 23,000 rand. Did you understand at the time what you were doing?
No. Not actually, no, because I wanted the money. When I got the money, I was excited, but now that I have to pay back, all the money I have to pay back now.
Did your sister go to school with the money?
Yeah, she's a sister today.
A nursing sister, in fact. But it has come at a bitter price and a costly learning experience. What would you do differently now?
I'd rather save money than make a loan.
When Alicia defaulted on her loan, she had a garnishee order taken out against her. A court order which instructs an employer to deduct money from an employee before they are paid, so as to pay back the loan. Factory owner Simon Mantell reckons at least 30% of his staff have garnishees. One even tried to commit suicide. For years now, he's been sounding the alarm about so-called unsecured loans. Small sums of money given without proper affordability checks and paid back with exorbitant interest fees.
I think that everyone needs debt, but everyone needs affordable debt. But what it does to irrespective of your socio-economic status, uncontrolled debt damages your ability to dream and to realize a dream. And really, the situation that the poor of this country are put in is that the debt that they're encumbered with is unaffordable.
The big problem is the way the initial loan quickly increases because of raising fees, legal and admin costs, and compound interest. A loan taken out for 6 months can legally accumulate 30% interest, over a year 60% interest.
And a check account.
Reckless lending?
Of course it's reckless lending. Of course it's reckless lending. These guys are modern day highwaymen. There's no other way of describing it.
He argues that the biggest lie perpetuated by the microloan industry is that they have to charge high interest because loans are unsecured. He says the beauty of this business is that loans are usually only given to people with jobs, so they're actually totally secure. If the lender defaults, the company simply applies for a garnishee.
It's a dream. In fact, that's actually the credit provider's dream.
Is it not better then that they default on their loan? Because then they're guaranteed of getting that money from the employer every month.
Well, I think so. You know, I mean, I can't see there's no downside, because now they don't have to spend any time phoning the debtor and saying, look, you know, what about the money? They know that as long as a business like mine is functioning and those people are employed, they're going to collect their money.
Now there's a revival.
Mantel was so incensed by unscrupulous loan sharks, he approached the National Treasury with hard-hitting proposals, like abolishing garnishee orders, educating consumers, and limiting exorbitant interest charges. Proposals, as we see later, taken very seriously by Treasury.
And coming up later, fraud in the microlending industry.